if you haven't seen it, really go over there and watch it, because honestly, this kind of explains so many things. The producer, writer for Battlestar,
I wanted to do a Galaxy Quest shoulder roll, but I threw out my shoulder the other week, so.
We have a masseuse in the audience, a beautiful girl, hopefully. No? Okay. Our next guest, wait, someone say, raise your hand. Say Caprica, Battlestar, old, new, and forthcoming. I'm also curious to get feedback from you guys as to what you would like to see with any additional new Battlestar, anything, movie. I know they're working on a new.
We're all on, man. This is all. That's all. That's all. But we were doing this Q&A thing. What's
Go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt the moment there. Great job, Bear McCreary, on your music. That was awesome. Sorry that I, as a fan, missed it, and others have missed it as well. And is your website or the blog correct? BearMcCreary.com.
It's BearMcCreary.com, and for Battlestar fans, if you guys go there, there's this archive of every episode from season 3 on. I have a detailed entry with interviews with all the cast and the writers and behind-the-scenes footage, and just detailed entries about how I wrote all these pieces of music. So there's literally more there than you would ever want to read, but it's there. So check it out, and that's where you'll see information on upcoming shows next year. So that's definitely a place to look.
Right. The actual question was, because you said for TV, for the shows and stuff like that, you guys had the plan that came out a while back. Do you ever foresee more movies on maybe what happened in the middle or the end of the show in the Cylon's perspective? Because it was awesome. You've got a great perspective of like how it was all developing and everything else, and it kind of drops off and it kind of leaves you standing still. Maybe I missed it and I haven't been watching your stuff, but
you know, that's a really good question.
Is there plans for more? The plan and then maybe the action and maybe the plan?
There's a plan called the Chief. They're doing the Chief.
The Chief's plan?
The Chief's plan.
I'm not sure how much we could say, but there are...
What if we say please?
Please. That you know, which you are thinking, which you are looking for, we have also felt, and there may well be an effort to address that in the near future. But just suffice it to say that Battlestar, this arena, this show, this universe is going to continue to give us more adventures in the future. So. Until somebody sings. Maybe Bear.
I also have a...
Go ahead.
Okay. I also have a request or interest in possible future material. I know that it can be poetic to, not really know what happened to a character at the end, but I love Starbuck too much to not know what happened to her. I would really like to see, if there was anything further for that character.
She's just laying down in the back.
We had run out of money for effects at that point, so just everyone basically just crouch or hide. When they disappeared, that's all that really happened.
I hear she's coming back as a man. That's what. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that my question here is a little bit prepared because I'm not sure I have it. But it's always been interesting to me how shows mirror the zeitgeist, right? The Cold War, the Battlestar Galactica had a lot of themes of religious extremists. It's that kind of stuff, and ethnic intolerance, and stuff comes out of that. Are there themes you'd like to explore like that are sort of emerging cultural themes that you want to
That's interesting. I mean, personally, I think bring those ethical issues, that kind of gray area of morality that Battlestar is important to new projects, because I think it is such a potent way of exploring character. So yeah, there are things we're all working on that I think you know, in addition to things that may relate to Battlestar directly, but that carry on that sort of same zeitgeist. Not being, but stay true to your times, our times.
A group of 5?
Yes. We already had our moment of silence, but thank you.
Hi. That was virtuality was a pain. Or the lack thereof.
First, thank you, Richard, for one of my first sci-fi experiences. It was very good. I watched most of the original series. Made me the man I am today.
I can tell from the hair. Yeah.
I've got it. Secondly.
Sorry.
I know.
Is there a statute of limitations on that? Or is that just whenever?
Some things are just too beautiful to be forgotten.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Chief is one of those things. Secondly, Bear, I listen to your music when I write. I love everything you do. I'm a huge fan. I even played elegy at the funeral for my son when he passed away. What I'm wondering is, when you are working on the thematic elements for specific characters, the things that go across either families or specific characters, what kinds of things are you weighing? I mean, is that also coming from the direction, production of the show, or is that your own kind of deal?
Well, let me answer in 2 parts. First, I'm honored that my music would be part of your son's service, and that is something that has happened as I'm writing on Battlestar. I'm writing pieces of music for fictional stories that people use in their real lives, and I'm honored that happens. And in a weird way, it kind of freaks me out, you know, because it's like up here we're all creating fantasy, you know, we're creating this fictional world, and yet we're creating a story and characters and music that really affect people, and sometimes it can be a lot of pressure. As I was working on Battlestar, like, you know, when I get to a really powerful piece of music, and I would have to really just focus on just telling the story, and where this piece of music goes, and after I'm done telling the story, I can't think about right now. But the fact that that piece of music resonated with you and your family means a lot to me. Now, on with your actual question. Character themes are weird because one of the things I realized with Battlestar is that these characters are more like real people. I think when you think of character themes in science fiction, I think the best example is obviously Star Wars. And these characters are archetypes, so you have a Darth Vader theme that goes through some subtle variations, but essentially it can be the same piece of music the whole time. The Luke Skywalker theme, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You don't see a scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi's kicking a puppy, or something where it's like, oh, that noble theme's not gonna work.
He did it with his mind.
Yes, exactly.
He would think the puppy would fly across the room.
Yeah, was that in one of the special editions? I don't remember.
Bounce off a spaceship.
Aren't puppies part of Richard Hatch's sci-fi experience with small children? Is that what it is?
So, but with Battlestar, you have these characters that are so complex that Kara Thrace is a good example where the first theme I wrote for her was very heroic. And as she was flying off the planet, and You Can't Go Home Again. And then in Flesh and Bone, she's torturing this guy. And you really are wondering if she's in the right. And I had to change her theme. And then she becomes this kind of spiritual, divine character. And we start seeing that happen in season 3, so I wrote a new theme. And then there's this relationship she had with Apollo, and I go, oh, I need a love theme. And at first I thought, I must be doing something wrong, because I have 4 distinctly different themes for one character. But then I was thinking about it, and an actual person, you can't write one piece of music that summarizes their personality. I couldn't do it for myself, I couldn't do it. People are dynamic and change, they have good days and bad days, they do good things, they do bad things.